Hey, dang it. And welcome to my vlog. Well, I thought I got away with it. I thought the bearing nut was loose. I tightened it up. The noise went away, but now it's back. Now, can you hear that humming? Well, unfortunately, that bearing is shot. As you can tell now when I go around this corner here, the noise almost goes away. And now it's straight back on it, and now it picks back up again. That tells you that the passenger side bearing is bad. Whether it's the outside bearings or the inside bearings, you can't tell until you pull it apart. You have two sets of bearings in there, and either the inside or the outside dry up. So that's what that humming noise is, and you can tell by doing your turns, and it depends on which way you turn. Which side gets quieter, because what's happening is you're taking a load off the bearing when you're turning. So we'll get to that. This is the 08 Jeep Compass. Now you can hear it. That whine, that kind of a whine chug. I thought I got rid of it when I tightened it up. When I went to pull it apart, I found that the nut was loose. Anyway. Alright, if you like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, definitely share. Catch you on the next latest vlog. This is a Jeep. I just want to give you an example. You can hear the humming of that bearing. Now I'm going to turn. Here it's smooth out. Now I'm back on it again. We made it 110 miles a day, so we're going to go ahead and change it out tomorrow. Now I did change it out. I can't remember whether it's a Wilbur change out or I actually pressed the bearing out and put a new bearing in there from Advance. So if that's the case, then that bearing did not last me a year, and I should be able to get a brand new one. So unfortunately I hate pressing. You got to do it right. If you don't, you screw up the anti-skid pickup ring. Alright, made it home alright. I was smelling rubber burning. I don't know if I got something going on with my serpentine belt now. God, it just can't get over. Let's get this lined up and get it on the rack. It's on the rack. Deal with it. Oh, and none of that, but I got a freaking pee. After filling my bladder for the radiation. Keeping these things running. I can't afford a new one. Or another one. The thing is with that, you're gonna wind up having to maintain it too. All right, we are back. I just got the other bearing from Advanced Auto, and I went ahead and put it in. I didn't bother to wait for to do a video while I was doing it, unfortunately, but everything went well. Just a couple of tips. When you go to put it in, make sure you got your anti-skid ring facing the right direction, and that you are pressing on the outside of the bearing. And then when you're pushing the hub on here, make sure that you're pressing against this ring here. Okay, when you're pressing, don't press on the outside here, and then don't press on the outside. You need to be supporting when you're pressing this in. You need to be pressing on that ring, okay? Not out here like you would when you're pushing the whole bearing in. Because if you're pressing out here and you're pressing on the outside of the bearing, then that's where you want to be. You don't want to be out here and pressing this in out here. You need to be supporting this inner ring, because if you don't, you're going to shove this ring out. So those are take it from experience. Also, I put a little bit of engine oil around the outside of the bearing itself, and on the inside. It'll help it slide in there a little bit better. Same with the hub shaft here, going inside here. I noticed that when I took the bearing out of the box, the outer part of the bearing was pushed out. So I lined it back up, and then just by pressing this back in, that should bring it up and seat it back in up against the ball bearings. So anyway, that's where we're at. We'll get this back on the vehicle. I got lucky. It was a brand new pickup, for one, and again, I just did this bearing back in June. So hopefully I only got maybe I got 8,000-9,000 miles out of that bearing. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully this one lasts a little bit longer as well. So that's where we're at. All right, from this point, I just put the drive shaft through, and then I stuck it on top of the lower ball joint, and then just put my bolts in. And we're all back together. Now you just got to tighten everything up. Stay tuned. All right, let's torque everything down like it's supposed to be. I'm gonna do tie rod to steering knuckle. I want 97 foot-pounds. Lower ball joint pinch nut, 60 foot-pounds. Your your drive axle nut, it's gonna be about 100. It's 180 foot-pounds. I know that for a fact. Strut to steering knuckle, and those are 81 foot-pounds. And let's see what else is. That's about it. Your tie rod to steering knuckle nut, again, 87. And that's where we're at. We just have those three. All right, okay, here's your 81. That's that, not there. That's a 21 millimeter. And you got your ball joint, lower ball joint, jam bolt, should I say? That's 15. It's a 15 millimeter head on there, and then it's 18. And that's an 18 nut right there. So you just got those two, that there, and then you go to your brakes. You get your back. I just take the back nuts off, so the whole caliper mounting bracket comes off with it. So I deal with that. I believe that's 80 foot-pounds, and then you've got 180 foot-pounds on this. And then you're going to have to line up a Carter key with that. And of course there's your tie rod end. It's an 18 as well. That's a 32 in this case. And then it goes down to 97 foot-pounds. But again, you've got a castellated nut, so you're going to have to line up your new Carter keys. Something else, you're going to have to reinstall your anti-skid pickup. That's a 10 millimeter that holds that. And like I said, I got lucky because of course it's brand new. The old one didn't come out so nicely. I put some blaster around it, keep it going around it, so it'll go down into the tunnel that goes into, and then just keep playing with it, pry it, not to destroy it, and hopefully you'll be lucky it'll come out. Alright, it's going to be under drive line and clutch. Your front drive shaft, as you can see, drive axles is going to be 180 foot-pounds. Those bolts that hold your caliper mounting bracket, disc, let's see, brake, caliper mount, mounting bracket bolts, 80 foot-pounds. Okay. When I went to torque the nut up, there was still, it appeared like there was a little bit more play in with it being pulled back into the hub, being pulled into the bearing, because as you're torquing it up, it's pulling the bearing into the face of the drive shaft. So I got to assume that it's pulling it in and pulling it up tight. My experience, it should be compressed all the way up as far as it'll go, because I don't think the drive shaft is going to pull it all the way up into the bearing. Not sure. We'll find out. As long as everything's functioning right, and I don't get any grinding or I put this wheel on there that the bearing's not loose, then we should be good. Alrighty, we are good. Nice and tight. It feels like it's gonna spin. So I guess it pulled it in like it should, and we'll see how long this one lasts. We'll take it for a test drive. And as long as I got no anti-skid issues and she's quiet as a mouse, I think we're good to go. Okay, here we go. We're gonna test drive and turn the key, and hopefully I don't have any anti-skids that are gonna go out. Yeah, sweet. Alright, they picked up. Alright, let's hope all goes well. Sure. No noises. So yeah. Oh, your brake pressure. There we go. That vibration is the muffler vibrating on the trailer hitch that I installed. Way too. Here we go. All quiet. No more noises. No more grinding noises. Beautiful. Awesome. I got no. Yeah, I got a little bit of pump in my pedal from the older mismatching freaking rotors and all that stuff. It'll take a little bit of time there to freaking burn them up, but I can live with it. Brand new bearing again, which is same side, and that was the one I put that I already pressed in. Good, we got plenty of stopping power. Alright, run down the road a little bit further. We'll come behind me again here. All quiet up front. So alright, so I don't want to jinx myself. But right now all the Jeep products are running. All quiet. I'm happy. I had to do the bearing on the wife's Compass or Liberty, and I had to do front brakes on that too. And I just got done doing rear brakes on the daughter's Nitro. Awesome. All nice and quiet. All I hear is wind. Beautiful. 70 miles an hour. Put it back down. That's all you should hear. Just wind. Steering wheel is a little straighter. And I do have a little bit of camber, off camber on that side too. close this video up. Alright, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, give me a thumbs up. Helps my algorithm. And we will catch you on the next Dana's Garage. And this was troubleshooting and replacing the passenger side wheel bearing on the old 8 Jeep Compass.